Finally, the drivers rolling out onto the racetrack to get things going. Those of you joining us for the first time on SpeedcastTV.com, welcome to Road America. Very happy to have you on board. This has been a fun morning already, being able to bring live coverage of the SCCA National Championship runoffs to you via the internet. See something a little bit new for us, and we had a couple of technical difficulties earlier today that we've hopefully got handled. We had a chance to talk to Biz down there, so ideally we'll have him for the rest of the afternoon as well.
Oh, it's nice to have Bizignano. He does such a good job in pit reporting. He's done it for so darn long and knows everything about it, and he comes up with great stories. So the folks that didn't get him earlier, it's a disappointment. So now we've got him back, hopefully, for the rest of the afternoon.
The drivers working their way around the racetrack for the first time. As we said, pretty much the stock-based car to work with, but these guys are allowed to do a lot to them. They do a lot with the transmission, an upgraded transmission, upgraded suspension. Obviously, the racing, to a certain extent, racing tires on the car. They do quite a bit of modifications to the motors as well. Lots of horsepower. This should be a lot of fun to watch here in a Sedan.
It should be, and we'll see if anybody gets excited. We've had a little bit of that in the first couple of races where the first lap was a little more exciting than it should have been for some of the guys with getting the car sideways, sliding a little bit. And these cars, you have to ease the throttle on these cars because there isn't a lot of rubber. And when they get down to these slower corners, like turn 5 and like turn 8, where they're coming in right now before they go to the carousel, you can smoke the tires pretty good off those corners. And you have to be careful in the carousel as well because you haven't got enough tire to really get in there fast, and you don't have the downforce. You can see that the cars have some little bit of aero on the front, but you also notice there's nothing on the back, so the cars can get loose on you.
I had a chance to talk with a bunch of the guys that run in the Sedan category via online, some forums, that kind of things earlier before coming to the weekend, and a lot of guys wanted to let me understand that the great thing about this series, this class, is it really is kind of a tinkerer's class as well. You can buy this car, get started, you can do a lot of the work yourself. Sure, you can take it to a prep shop, you can get them to build your race car and go racing. But a lot of these guys say, hey, you know what, I built this myself, I added this, or in the different stages of prep you can put on the car. Some guys just wait till they make a little more money, keep investing in their car, keep buying something new. It gets quicker and quicker. Great thing about this American Sedan class is the fact that these cars just can continue to get better and better depending on what the drivers and owners want to do with them.
Yeah, and you can also notice by looking at this that there are some cars that are relatively new here, and there are some cars that have been around a long time. They're not all brand new cars in this class, and they can make it still competitive in this class because Brian Wallace in the Camaro, that is not a new car that's out there, and you can see the new Mustang up front and then Slow's car right behind it, which is a few years old.
True.
So it isn't all just all brand new cars in the class. Guys will keep running a car year after year if it's still competitive.
So getting set to go, they'll work through the Canada corner for the last time. We are going to go green this time through. We'll have to see if Tom Slow can step it up. As Elliott did give you the rundown, he did have some issues during the qualifying days and really was only able to put his one fast lap in the third qualifying session on Thursday. Just been battling otherwise. Finally, he's got things back together. Does he have enough right now to challenge Andrew McDermott, who has really been the outright quick driver throughout the week? We are going to see that very quickly because for the first time, we're going to see if we can't get a winner from the pole position. We'll see if it's McDermott's day to grab National Championship number 5.
Boy, and he is an odds-on favorite because that car has been running just extremely well. And the guy has won championship before, and he's one of the few guys we've seen that won a championship last year and is on the pole again this year. Here we go.
Pace car is ducked off to the pit lane. We're looking for green, and we've got it. Green, green, green. Racing up into turn number 1. Good run for Slow, but I really think that McDermott's sitting with him right there on the inside. They're going to be side by side, 4 wide, deeper in the field. 4 wide in a Sedan.
All right, there. Oh, man, they're going crazy. Actually, Slow lost a position in that, and he's on the outside. He may not even be able to hold the third position because of the fact he's not going to get the drive off there.
He's going to lose more than that, Elliott. He's going way back.
He's coming back, though. He's going back for third already. He's not wasting time getting back up there. He's going back for it.
Well, that was nice. He got shuffled back to 4th spot, but came back across the racetrack and able to go down the inside of Brian Wallace in the number 8 Camaro. So the Camaro had gone to 3rd spot, but Tom Slow has pulled it back. Right now, it's McDermott up front, Wallace into 2nd. In fact, that was the Camaro, or the Firebird, I believe, of Sean Gray that he went by. So
yeah. Wallace is sitting right on McDermott. He's not letting him get away. Slow lost a little bit of time in that shuffle, so he's going to have to get it. Oh, McDermott got a little bit sideways there. Got on the gas a little hard.
Well, you're exactly what you said, right? They're under tire. They've got lots of horsepower. Tires are still cold right now, and he tried to roll that throttle on a little aggressively coming out of turn number 5, and it spun it. but he was able to still hold on to that spot. And a good start, though, for Brian Wallace out of Michigan in the number 8, able to stay into the inside, stay right on the rear bumper of McDermott as they went to turn number 1, and really Tom Slow was just hung out to dry on the outside.
Yeah, and you can tell these. The other thing you'll notice in these cars, the roll in the car is they've got quite a bit. Oh man, is he fast through that carousel? McDermott's car is really working through that fast corner, a lot better than Wallace's car, and Slow closed right up on Wallace. So I don't know what happened there, but he got there. McDermott dropped a wheel a little bit coming off there.
McDermott's suspension worked very well through this. The car didn't have quite as much roll as the two cars behind him, and he got a great run through the carousel. That's given him a big cushion as they worked their way through the kettle bottoms for the first time. So McDermott is your leader. Second spot is Brian Wallace. Third is Tom Slow. Fourth is Sean Gray there. Everybody settling in. American Sedan underway here at the Runoffs.
Boy, those cars dance under that brake. The tires here on these cars, they're really under-tired for the weight they have. And so if they slide them around a lot, the tires are going to go off. We've even seen it in the smaller classes with the street tires. And the other thing happens is that not only are they underweight for the, under-tired for the weight of the car, the power these cars have. You can light up the tires at will. And if you burn them up too much, you're not going to have tires at the end of the race that's going to get real busy.
Slow goes from the right to the left, side by side across the line. Tom Slow will out-drag race Wallace into turn number 1. He got that done quick.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to hit Wallace in the back the way it was working, but he got through there. Slow's car's moving around a lot, but he's getting through. Wallace using a lot of racetrack coming out of turn 1.
That is your leader, Andrew McDermott in the number 24, 4 times a national champion in American Sedan, looking to go for the quintet here as he pulls onto the back straightaway, or rather the straightaway between turns 3 and turn 5 under the Sargento Bridge.
Yes.
Pretty solid gap right now, sorry.
That's good. Slow is coming up. He's pulling away from Wallace now. Let's see if he is able to pull anything in on McDermott at all. Oh, man, look at him trying, locking up the rear brakes a little. It looks like he's got a little much brake dialed into the car. For this early in the race, you would think that the car would stop without doing that, but he's out hard after McDermott now. He didn't want to get away, because if he lets him get away, he knows he'll never catch him.
That's exactly right. I was just thinking he's got to be just telling himself, man, I have got to put some good laps in here. I've got to eke into this distance. Almost 2 seconds was the gap for McDermott last time by the stripe. 1.8 the gap. But you just know this. Tom Slow says, hey, I got to get up to this guy. I can't let him pull away from me at all. I need to close back up. It's still Brian Wallace in 3rd spot, Sean Gray in 4th, Michael Levine now 5th, Philip Smith in 6th position, Richard Jones in 7th, Jim Wheeler 8th, Ken Lubosh in 9th, and Fred Heatherwick in the 10th spot now.
Boy, a lot of different lines through the carousel, that's for sure. Everybody's got their own line or way their car works. And you know, truthfully, some of the guys haven't been here a lot. And the line that looks like a classic line in the carousel and some of the other corners here aren't the line that you really want to take. It's sometimes just driving around the inside. But it looks like McDermott's still pulling out. I don't think he pulled out as much that time on Slow as he had the lap before, but he's sure trying hard still.
We'll keep a look at the gap, folks, just to find out whether or not Tom Slow is closing up.
Ooh.
Wide exit coming through turn number 12, or 13 rather, the Billy Mitchell bend. McDermott really hung it out to dry there.
Boy, he's using the road, a little bit more of the strip on the outside, and some of the grass and dirt. He's using everything. He's not letting up. He's trying to gap these guys right now and let them know that he's gone, and they're not going to be able to catch him.
Heading down to turn number 1 right now. It's still McDermott, your leader. Tom Slow in 2nd, Brian Wallace in 3rd, but you can see that Sean Gray trying to close up there. Gray piling that Pontiac Firebird, trying to close up right now on Wallace. Brian Wallace in the Camaro. Still the Fords run 1-2, but 2 drastically different Fords.
Oh, they are. And, you know, in watching McDermott drive right now, it's really kind of strange because he is sliding the car a lot and using up way more than just the road and everything. It doesn't seem like he's in a tire saving mode yet. Anyway,
I don't think so.
But, you know, we talked about tire management, but it seems like right now he is just all out. And it doesn't look like he's pulling away from Slow very much, if he is at all.
Last time by, both drivers turning 229 once. So Slow able to now post the same lap time death McDermott. That's not going to be enough to close back up in. Currently behind by 1.9 seconds. But Tom Slow at least showing he's got the pace here right now, and if he's maybe managing the tires a little bit better than McDermott, maybe that'll come into play later on in this race.
Yeah, but you know, it might have been what a lot of folks do is just go out and try and turn some really quick laps at the start, and then try and go into the tire management mode at that time so that you can get, oh, there's a pass for position right there.
That was trouble for the 09 of Sean Gray. Sean Gray had trouble going into turn number 8 and push wide. That allowed the number 42 of Michael Levine to tuck back down to the inside. So Levine now moves into 4th position as he was able to bring his car, that Mustang, back down to the apex when Gray pushed well wide.
Yeah, it looks like Gray is having a little bit of trouble with his car because he's sliding around a lot. He got loose in turn 6 also, but didn't lose a position. It looks like Slow is actually closing in on McDermott here.
Well, he's definitely not falling back, that is for sure. As I said, McDermott just all over it. He's just using every bit of the racetrack possible. You see him there as he worked his way out of Canada corner, actually right up over the end of the rumbles. Continues to have trouble coming out of that corner. They're up through 13.
Yeah, in Canada corner, he got out in the dirt a little bit. He's sliding it through the entry of that corner. And to 14, out in the dirt a little bit. He's using everything and a little bit more. And, I'm not sure in the long run this is going to work out really well for him. I think that, if he's right now would tidy it up a little bit and work in the management of the tires, he probably wouldn't be much slower, but he'd have a lot more tire left at the end of the race.
Tom Slow in that yellow Ford continues to put the pressure on, not allowing our leader McDermott to pull away too much here. Both of them, all of them really working these cars coming through these corners here. You see the body roll as they roll through. In fact, McDermott about 0.3 of a second quicker on that last lap, pulls the gap out to 2.1 seconds. So McDermott is stretching it out a little bit, but again, the concern we would have is he using the tires up.
Yeah, it would seem to me that's the way, because from what the guys have said, that tire management was an issue in these cars, and they're using a lot of tire right now. But these guys are having great racing all the way back. I'll tell you, that's side by side, in corners, down straights, breaking hard. They're having some good racing in these cars.
That's a fight right there for 5th spot, and I believe Sean Gray has lost it. I think that's Phil Smith in the 54. So Smith in the 54, the Camaro, able to get by the Firebird of Sean Gray. So it's now Phil Smith up into the Fast 5. Gray shuffled back into 6th spot. Gray's moved back a couple of positions here over the last number of laps, whether or not he's battling with something, but has a look to the inside of 7, but that's definitely not going to work.
No, it's a tough place to pass. I don't think he's going to do it down here in 8 either. We'll see. He's had trouble in 8 before. Well, we didn't get to see it there, but it looks like he held on to it that time. He's going good. See if he can do it in the carousel. Running a little wide. The guys are using a lot of road coming through there. That seemed to be working okay. They held their position, both of them, through that corner.
These guys certainly work the tires, don't they?
Boy, they work everything from what I see. The cars are rolling around. They're using the brakes hard. They're sliding the cars through the corners. Oh, look at that slide even in there. Well, that's a tough place to slide a car coming through the kink. That is a fast corner to have something happen. And you're just between the walls there, and you kind of go ping pong. Oh, locking up a brake, trying to get in there.
Still the 54 of Philip Smith, rather.
Yeah, Smith is working hard to stay in front, and when you've just passed a guy, it's you kind of driving the mirrors just a little. You don't want to let the guy by, and you're thinking, geez, do I need to? Oh, gee!
There goes the 09 of Sean Gray, spinning,
and he's stuck,
and he's going to be stuck.
Yeah, he just came in there a little deep, got on the brakes, trying to turn. And the trouble with that corner, it's like going into Canada corner. You're coming in there and you're actually turning under brakes, so it's not a straight braking area where you can just get on the brakes. So it is going to tend to loosen up the car anyway because the way the cars work through there.
Well, so that is going to allow Philip Smith to run 5th uncontested right now, as we've lost that driver. Sean Gray, who was in the 6th position, is stuck in the turn 14 gravel trap. His day will be done there. They may be able to drag him back out and fire him up again. We've seen that happen a couple times today. But nonetheless, he will not be in the hunt for the top 5 finish. And it's still Andrew McDermott out front in the number 24. Your leader by 2.7 seconds last time through.
So he's still pulling it out just a little bit, but it's just a matter of when he goes into this tire management mode at some point. But it's not in it yet, and it looks like locking up brakes going into the corner.
Oh, wow, he almost went 4 wheels off there. He had to get way out of the throttle at the top of 6. See if that allows Tom Slow to close up a bit.
Wow, man, he's dropping wheels everywhere. But seems to be working for him because he's still going very fast. But, you know, I mean, I don't understand the tire management the guys have talked about, but maybe, you know, they go, oh my gosh, he's sliding some more.
He really is pushing this car around. He's got the thing in four-wheel drifts left and right. I got a feeling that Tom Slow may start being able to close up here again.
It almost looks like Tom Slow's car's got a little bit of understeer coming through the carousel, while at the same time McDermott's car is loose everywhere. Maybe that's a good thing. I'm not sure.
We'll see. We're going to see how things play out. This is the one thing, obviously, we're watching here, folks. We know we're talking about lots of horsepower here. Anywhere between 450 and 550 horsepower with these cars. Under-tired, as we said. Tire management is going to be a factor by the end of this. We're going to see to how much of an extent. We're only 4.5 laps into this thing, and these guys are just hanging these cars out here.
Oh, they are. They are. They are just sliding them all over the place. You know, there may be hardly any way. Well, that was the cleanest we've seen him come through. The McDermott's been off the road every other time, so he's starting to clean it up a little bit. Off the road there. Not too much there, a little bit. But, you know, the cars I've driven lately, I haven't had cars you could drive into the dirt, so it's a little different deal. But, you know, with the more stock suspension on the cars, you can run over curbs, you can run off the track a little bit, and it doesn't disturb the car, brake splitters and things like that. And McDermott's raced this car enough. He knows what to expect from it, and maybe he knows he can drive this way at the beginning of the race, and it makes somebody like me think this isn't going to happen because I don't know any better.
Well, last time by, in fact, Tom Slow was about 0.2 of a second quicker than McDermott, cutting the gap down to 2.5. Let's see if this starts maybe becoming a regular deal because, oh, we have a driver off here in the exit of 1. Someone was pulled off at the exit of 1 under their own power.
Yeah, it looks like a mechanical problem there. Can't see a number at this time.
Someone else there coming through 1.
Yeah, somebody may be pulling off somewhere else here soon.
Smoking like crazy from the tail of that car. There's the 09, able to get him out.
Oh, that's who's
Sean
smoking.
Gray.
Look, he's done something. Sean Gray's got a problem someplace. It's hard to tell if that's from the engine or whether that's from something underneath the car. But it's the engine.
That's the engine.
It's definitely engine. There's smoke coming from underneath the breather. So he won't be long for this race by the looks of it.
So trouble for Sean Gray. Remember, he was running up actually in 3rd spot at 1 or 4th spot at one point, dropped back down to 6th, eventually ended up in the gravel trap over in turn number 14, and now it appears as though he has a mechanical issue, something with the engine on that Pontiac Firebird. So we would assume that will be it very soon for Sean Gray, the driver out of Arkansas in the 09. Up front, it's still Andrew McDermott, as we said, leading by 2.5 seconds. As we've been pointing out here, just driving the wheels off this Mustang here.
And he's driving hard, but he's been in these cars so much. You know, he's driven a lot of years in the cars, won championships in the cars, so he understands the car a lot better than somebody like me would. But he's just seems like he's driving awfully hard. But then Slow is not letting them get away. He's hanging in there the whole time so far. But you know, we're not halfway yet, so the second half of the race is what's going to tell in this race.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to be waiting for, these final 6 or 7 laps to see who still has enough tires on to run well. It's to be like he's still pushing real hard. They've got the trail braking going still as they work their way again back up onto the front straightaway here. It's still Andrew McDermott, your leader, 4-time national champion, setting the pace. He was the pole sitter, and now out to about a 2.5 second lead right now. Tom Slow in the 74 runs in second, but he looks like he's trying to catch up a bit here still.
He's keeping him honest anyway. He's not letting McDermott get away, and if he can just keep that pressure on him, maybe. Wow, that's a long way out there. You know, there used to be no pavement out there, and now the guys are just using it as part of the racetrack. It's amazing that they get away with it. I was here a month or so ago and took a few laps in the car. That ripple strip they're running over is pretty rough.
Is it?
And they're crossing through it over the other side and getting onto the smooth pavement on the other side of it. And it upsets the car in a car that's set up a little stiff. But with these cars with this suspension, it's a little softer, and they can actually go over ripple strips. To me, it looks like Slow's closing back in again.
You know what? He is closing a little bit from here, but even last time by, McDermott was 0.6 of a second quicker. I don't know if it's just this last half a lap where he's starting to close back up because the gap was almost 3 seconds there last time. Look at him.
Ooh. Yeah, Slow. if he keeps doing that, Slow's going to catch him, but because he lost a lot off that corner getting out in the grass like that, not being able to get any forward bite.
I'll give McDermott props. He's really hanging it out there, driving hard, but Tom Slow looks like he's been a little smoother trying to close back up here. Again, almost 3 seconds, 2.9 seconds was the gap last time by the stripe as they worked their way again through the carousel here. A little smoother this time through for McDermott.
It is, and oops, a little slide there. But, you know, he's got some car control. He does that because it's all over the place, and he's able to keep it going the direction he wants to go all the time, even if he's using grass and ripple strips. He's doing a great job of controlling the car, but he's using a lot of road.
He is four-time national champion. Four-time national champion here, folks. Andrew McDermott, still your leader. Defending champion as well from both 2008 and 2007. Leads the way right now. Tom Slow runs in second, the number 74. Brian Wallace third, and the number 8. Philip Smith, Richard Jones cap of your top 5. Then we have Tom Ellis, Jim Wheeler, Ken Lubosh, Fred Hitherwick, and Chris Brannon rounding out your current top 10, folks. More to come. 6 laps down, 7 to go. Stay tuned. The second half of our A Sedan main event next up here on SpeedcastTV.com.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
Well, if you like American muscle cars, hopefully you're hanging in here with us right now. A Sedan on track for this year's SCCA National Championship runoffs, and we are being entertained here for sure. The Ford Mustang up front, Andrew McDermott, 4-time national champion, and he is hanging it out to dry. Rob Howden alongside Elliott Forbes Robinson, play-by-play action live here on Speedcast TV of American Sedan. And we are watching McDermott just drive the wheels off this Ford Mustang, number 24, continues to set the pace.
He is, and you know, as much as he's sliding the car and using it up, he is still going very, very fast. And you know, normally you don't see cars throwing up dirt when you're running a road course, but he is doing it everywhere and almost every corner. But he's staying on the road, not losing much time, and still going faster than everybody else. And it seems like after they had talked about this tire management, it doesn't seem like the way to do it. But shoot, it's hard to argue with a guy who's pulling away.
Sure enough, actually, the last lap, Tom Slow actually turning the fastest lap of the race at 2:29.067, but it seems to me from what I can see here, he's well back right now. I think Slow must have had a little bit of an issue. We can't even see him on the racetrack here yet. He just comes into our view. So Tom Slow obviously had a bit of an off himself as we were gone to break. We missed that, but obviously he went off somewhere because this is definitely going to be a much slower lap because he closed the gap down to 2.5 seconds. It's well over 4 or 5 seconds now.
Yeah, and Slow, you know, he only qualified at 29.4 compared to the 27.6 of McDermott. So Andy is actually, you know, has, you would think, some speed to play with in there someplace. But if Slow's now dropped back, it is going to allow Andy McDermott to slow his pace down and just manage the tires and manage the brakes and everything else in this. He hasn't been able to so far because Slow has been, it looks like Slow is having a handling problem. He missed the apex there by a bunch.
He did by 2 or 3, 4 feet probably.
Yeah, it's, you know, it just looks like his car is pushing or something because it looks like you even saw at the exit of the corner it kind of take a set in the rear at the exit of the corner when he had to push and missed the apex. So maybe he's having a handling issue at this time.
Definitely well further back than we saw earlier with this camera shot we have in turn number 1. Tom Slow was quite close to him earlier on, but at this point, no, there's the dust left up by McDermott as he does every time coming through turn number 1, right to the very end of the rumble strips there and spits the dust up. Tom Slow now 6 seconds back at 2:33. He dropped about 4 seconds off in that one lap, so he must have had a big off somewhere when we were gone on the break as Tom Slow continues to run in the second spot. Really they are the class of the field right now. 12, 13 seconds away from Brian Wallace, who currently runs in the third spot, the number 8. Phil Smith and Tom Ellis rounding out your top 5 here, but Tom Slow, who we're keying on here now through turn number 5, still very comfortable in the second spot.
Yeah, and Wallace just has nobody around him. He's just driving all by himself, driving a race. But it's a race for a spot on the box, which is good for him. And he should be able to have a nice, decent finish out of this when he's all done. Slow coming through, slow dropping a wheel off the inside and a little bit off the outside. But Slow doesn't look like he's given up. I don't know what happened that one lap to get him dropped back, but he's still going for it.
You know, we might find ourselves with another super sweep winner here, Elliot. We already had one with Mark Mercer in the Sports 2000 category. Folks, if you don't know what the super sweep is, it's a pretty cool little honor to win. You need to, number one, win one of your regional races, one of your national races, a special national race in your division. You need to win your division. You need to win the national championship runoffs, and then you need to be the top point getter as well in your category in the nation. We only have one so far. And looks to be right now like Andy McDermott's going to try to do the same thing here in his Ford Mustang. A great run thus far. Super sweet, and the gold medal. Definitely, what, 6 laps away, 5-6 laps away if he can keep it on the racetrack.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't think it matters with him because he's fast wherever he is. And, you know, he's got a big lead now, and he doesn't seem to have backed off much. He's still driving it really hard. He's still using the dirt at the exit of the corner, so he hasn't backed off much for a guy who's got a lead as big as he has. So
6 seconds last time by was the lead for McDermott, but you're right, everywhere he is, every bit of the racetrack he can possibly use, he's out there, plus about another 4 inches.
Yeah, and he seems to be comfortable with that. So, and it looks like he's stretched out the lead even more this lap. So, you know, he's still stretching it out, and I'm sure the crew is going to sooner or later here say, oh, okay, buddy, you can back it down a little bit. But he's not doing that yet.
Same thing over the exit of turn number 1, right to the very end of the available asphalt. Just enough to give him a little bit of dirt spick behind him. Again, coming out of turn number 2, 2 wheels off in the dirt.
Yeah, little slide coming off, got the car loose a little bit, but, you know, I guess it's the only way he knows how to drive, and he does it well. So he's going to, as long as he's pulling out a lead, and just pulling it more and more, and it seems like he is pulling it out every lap now, that he's going to go on and has a really good shot at winning this race.
I'm expecting here that we are now seeing the tires starting to go off a little bit here. Everybody's time's kind of falling back. McDermott a 2:29 for Tom Slow a 2:30. So obviously it's starting to burn the tires down a little bit here as we're 9 laps into this one. 13 lappers, so 4 laps remaining here.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, it looked like Slow had lost the front tires. And a track like this that's a hard way to go too, because you just can't turn the car and get it to where you want. So why he's slowed down so much, and McDermott's car's been more or less loose all the way. He's actually doing a lot better job, well, not better job, but not having the car out in the back so much now. And so he's calmed it down, and I think that you know, he's able to get through here without a tire problem now, because he's not using as much road in some places now.
Sure enough.
So I think that, you know, maybe he's just decided he can go ahead and back it down, and you can't, when the tires are off a little bit, you can't get quite as aggressive either, because the tires go off more and more and more the more you use it hard. I think that's his line there, dropping in the dirt. I think it has nothing to do with speed. It's just where he drives.
That's where he's going at it for. Yeah, I think you're probably right there. Almost 8 seconds the advantage right now for McDermott at this number 24. Beautiful Ford Mustang leading the way. He'll let it roll all the way out there again to the outside of turn 14. Kicking up a little bit more dust. 3 laps to go this time by, I believe. 3 laps remaining here in our A Sedan category for the main event of the National Championship runoffs. Andy McDermott also looking for, as we said, number 1, he's looking for the super sweep. He's also looking to be our first driver to win from pole position here today. Yeah,
and there's a good shot we're going to get that. He was first into turn 1. And if he can pull this win out, that'll be our first pole position guy. But he's been strong all day. And Wallace here's been doing a good job, too. He's running by himself. We haven't talked about him a whole lot because of the fact there was nobody around him. But he's hanging in there. It looks like he's got Philip Smith behind him. But I don't know if he can catch him or not. He's been eking out a little bit on Wallace, but not much.
pretty much 4 seconds between Brian Wallace and Phil Smith in the fourth position. So Wallace is actually by himself on the racetrack right now, running pretty good, qualified third, running third right now, pretty much where he would have expected to get going from. He was back from our leader by about 2 seconds. McDermott in qualifying, so we're having a pretty solid run here right now, turning a couple of consecutive 231s right now. It seems to be the preferred pace right now. And he's also about 0.3 of a second quicker than the guy behind him. So right now, Wallace looks like he's in a pretty good spot as long as he can start on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like he missed that turn just a little bit, missed the apex, and cost him a little bit of time. And by the looks of it, if he keeps doing that, he may be in trouble because it looks like Phil Smith is closing that gap and may have time in this race to catch him.
This really is a time where you got to be extra focused. When your tires start going off like that, you really got to be able to sense the way the car's moving, do you not?
Yeah, it looks like he's dragging a muffler or something underneath of Phil Smith's car, and his hood's coming loose, but he's still going for it.
He's got the hammer down still.
Yeah, you can see the right front corner of the hood seems to be up.
Oh, you're right.
And it looks like something is dragging on the ground underneath the car, maybe a exhaust system or something. I don't know what it is. It's not sparking, so I don't know what it is. The car looks like it's been in an accident.
You can see it right there. It looks like he's been in a little bit of a battleground, a little battle zone here at Road America, I think, for the number 54 of Phil Smith, but still running right now in the third spot. An opportunity to work his way up possibly into the podium.
Yeah, he could end up there. You know, if that thing keeps opening up like that, though, it's going to slow him down the straight if it stays on. It's amazing that thing, the hold downs aren't holding that thing, but you know, he's still going awfully fast and has a chance at a podium with a car that doesn't look like it should be racing.
McDermott comes across the line again, folks. Here comes the number 8 as well. Ben Wallace, there's Tom Slow across start-finish line here as well. Good shot there of that battle. That's the number 54 of Phil Smith trying to close up here.
Yeah, he's closing the gap, and I guess his car is just working a little bit better because Wallace is struggling at the moment. And Smith is coming up, but that hood is costing him a lot up the straight. It's got to. Look how high that thing is sitting as he goes up the straight.
It does, yeah, it does start to pull the wind in as soon as you get going on the top of the straightaway. He loses a lot of top-end speed for that, but he'll work his way through turn 1, and you know he realized that's a podium. If you can get up there to battle with Brian Wallace, that is a spot on the podium here at the Runoffs for Phil Smith. Just 2 laps remaining here right now, folks. The battle. Wallace still a little bit quicker than Smith there. I don't know if Smith's going to be able to close up on him here at this point.
Shoot, I'm surprised because it looks like he closed in on him. So I guess it's just wishful thinking or something that we're going to have a really good race for this position, but it sure looks like Smith's closing up on him.
McDermott still leading comfortably. 10 seconds now, 10 plus seconds over Tom Slow. It'll be 1 to go this time by for Andrew McDermott, who's almost 30 seconds ahead of third and fourth.
But the guys are still sliding around, trying to get the cars around, and I think that Wallace is struggling with his car some right now. It looks like first and second are pretty well set unless something breaks on the car. But these guys here are just driving as hard as they can to try and get that podium. Let's see if Wallace is able to hold off this charging Smith to get that position that he's in now, third.
Both drivers trying to hold on here near the end of this race. We talked about tire management at the beginning of the event here, and we expected that maybe the way Andrew McDermott was driving, and that was just about as hard as possible. You figured he would burn the tire stuff, but he seems to be handling it very well. The rest of these drivers here having to manage what is definitely lessened grip with them from their rubber here. It is Andrew McDermott, your leader, in the number 24. Tom Slow second in the 74. Brian Wallace third, Phil Smith fourth, and Tom Ellis fifth. We expect to see the checkered flag. Or in fact, maybe 1 lap to go, I believe. No, 1 to go. There he is, right, boom, right past us here at start finish. We're continuing to watch this battle for third on track, but just as we do, the 24 of McDermott now across the line to begin his final circuit here at Road America.
So it looks
1
like,
more lap to go for your leader.
And it looks like Wallace is holding out, and McDermott is taking his normal line still on the last lap. He's big lead and still using everything and a little bit more.
10-second advantage, 10-plus second advantage for Andy McDermott in the 24. And you got to give him props. He's ran that same line all race long. putting that rear wheel, the outside rear wheel, in the dirt about every time he possibly could, but it's working for him.
It is working for him, and he just uses that much road, and I think that's just his line to go out there and drop a wheel. It's amazing to me because I just haven't driven cars that you could do that with, and well, even when I drove the Trans Am, I don't remember doing it that much, but it's a car that you can put a wheel in the dirt and still go fast with, obviously.
He is pushing hard in this Ford Mustang, and the beautiful number 24 continues to lead the way here. Andrew McDermott out of Grand Lake, Michigan, looking to score the win. It would be his 5th win in this category and 3rd in a row. How about that for some domination?
That's awesome. I mean, he just obviously has this class dialed in and knows how to drive these cars and knows how hard you can drive them and still have the rubber last, because he's done that.
Well, the great thing, too, is that at this point here, if he does it, he's won the runoffs as well at 3 different racetracks. He's already won at Mid-Ohio. He was won at Heartland Park, Topeka. He would win here at Road America as well. That would be a heck of a feat for sure to win at the 3 different classes in the last number of years.
Oh, no, it's great that you show that you can run at tight tracks, fast tracks, long straight tracks. It doesn't matter, can still win. So his crew has obviously done a really great job on this car. And he drives the heck out of it into the dirt again.
It's enjoyable to watch,
lap,
actually.
it doesn't matter, man. He's just going for it. He
Up
just
through Billy Mitchell bend.
Sideways coming out of Billy Mitchell. He doesn't matter. He's just driving the heck out of the car. And he's a treat to watch it. He's fun to watch because he is just using the whole car and everything on it.
And he's going to bring it up the straightaway here, folks. A flawless flag-to-flag victory here in American Sedan. Your national champion for 2009, Andrew McDermott, is going to get the double checker here at start-finish. What a race for him. McDermott is your winner by a large margin, over 13 seconds. We're waiting for Tom Slow to come up on top here as well for 2nd spot. Looks to me like the number 8 of Brian Wallace is going to be able to hold on to 3rd as he works his way out of the final corner. Here's Tom Slow across the line for 2nd spot. And indeed, it will be Brian Wallace, the driver out of Michigan. Across the line, he is going to score the victory. Wallace is 3rd. He's going to go to the podium. He'll be happy with that. A good run to the podium for Brian Wallace.
It is. He obviously struggled a little bit today with grip on the car and was sliding around, but he held on to it and he gets on the box someplace. And, that getting a 3rd is good here. You get to go home with some hardware. Good deal for the end of the year for a guy that's come out to this place to run. And here's the guy, Andy McDermott, who did a great job of driving. Qualified well, practiced well, raced well, got an excellent car to drive, and it was a good job for Andy to get that car around here in that Mustang. And still sliding it on the...
still on the throttle. I was going to say, EFR, here you and I are saying, I don't know, tire management, is he going to be able to handle it? Is this big, heavy car going to be able to keep the tires under it? Then we saw the way he drove for the first 5-6 laps, and then never stopped driving like that. We kind of figured something would happen near the end, but man, you got to give him the credit. He knows how to handle his race car.
Yeah, he knows more than we do, obviously. Because we thought he was done and just overdriving the car. Instead of that, he just went out there and knew what the car would do for the whole race. And it seemed like his car went off less than Slow's did. So Slow must have been driving hard too, and we didn't think so. So it's interesting that he was able to do it. But, when you drive this much in a car like that, and you know the car, you know the class, you know what it'll do, he understood the program, and I guess you win because you know what you're doing.
Well, you can just see the way the different cars were set up. Some of the drivers with a lot more body roll, not so much for McDermott. His car seemed a little more stable going through the carousel. Obviously got great runs through the carousel, even though the car was half sideways somewhere, hitting the apex and on the exit. But, man, you got to give him all the props. A great run for him, and even for us, an entertaining race to watch.
It was definitely entertaining. I mean, he's fun to watch if he's the only guy out there. Yeah, exactly. Because, he has great car control and was able to slide it out, use a little bit of grass and dirt and stuff, and still do it lap after lap after lap, and never got way off. We saw him get a little bit sideways once or twice, but nothing bad. But, you say, oh, boy, he dropped a wheel. Well, shoot, that was his line. That's what he was doing every lap, and was able to continuously do it and do a good job at it.
This class really has had a couple of guys to kind of dominate, has it not? Andy McDermott, a winner in 2000, 2001. Bob Hahn scoring the championship in 2002. Then we had the John Heimrissey era from 2003 to 2006. 4 straight championships for John Heimrissey. Well, here's Andrew McDermott now, 3 in a row. 5th overall, 3 in a row for him. He comes back next year, and Heimrissey will be in the in the with the taillights. We won't be remembering his run when we think about McDermott doing exactly the same thing. 3 years in a row for Andrew McDermott, your champion here in a sedan. Great
job of driving. And it was a good, it looked like it was going to be a better race. From qualifying, it looked like it ended up. He was a couple seconds faster in qualifying, and what we saw at first was, well, he's just going to drive away. Slow kept him honest for quite a long time and held him in there, but then faded at the end. But McDermott just kept his pace, and did a good job getting up there and getting another win.
Well, folks, we're going to try this one again. Down on pit lane with our national champion, Andrew McDermott, is John Bizignano.
Andy, I got to congratulate you. What a great drive. First of all, your 5th championship and the super sweep. Man, you were driving why in the world were you driving the wheels off this thing the whole way? Everyone was waiting for you to take it easy. No way.
No, you got to go 10/10, man. You don't learn anything unless you go fast, and if you back off, then you lose your rhythm.
It looked like a bit of oversteer, though. My gosh, you're hitting up dirt everywhere. They're going to have you bring in a D9 and work on the edges of these tracks after you were here.
Yeah, it was okay. The handling was a little off, but the car was just perfect, really. So we just really enjoyed it. But I had to keep my rhythm up, otherwise I lose concentration.
When you think about the season with the sweep, there's got to be a lot of things that made it happen. What are some of those things?
Well, all the people that helped me out, we've got TNA Shocks, we got Felice Engines, greatest engine builders in the world, Hoosier Tires, Redline Oil, Lane Automotive, Innovative Computer Services, and all the rest of the people that help us out with this. I just can't say enough, and they help us so much.
Well, congratulations on a great 5th championship, the sweep, and one heck of a beautiful drive. It was great watching you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody.
Well, let's walk on back to our number 2 man here, who at the beginning of the race certainly had something for Andy, but as the race went on, Tom, gosh, something about mid-race happened, and you dropped about 5 seconds back. What happened, Pete?
Clutch went away. We haven't had a chance to test this 100 horsepower motor, which was just a class of the field, and the clutch went away. I manual shifted. I did everything that you could do. Bleep, blop, off into kink, back on. Tried to get there, but when you're racing any of these guys, you got to bring all 8 cylinders, and you got to bring a big bullet.
EFR was mentioning that through the carousel, it looked like the car was understeering from the very beginning.
Yes, yeah, we didn't. We had a blow-by. We missed all of Wednesday's practice. That put us behind. I got a couple laps yesterday. It was blowing so bad, my qualifying lap was with the entire cockpit filled with smoke. I couldn't see the gauges going into the kink, so I lifted just enough to where I could turn in and let the smoke come, and that was my fast lap. We didn't have time chance test before, and we got bit.
I tell you, Tom, you did a great job of a silver medal. Congratulations on managing all that problems. Coming back to our number 8 car, which is certainly a gentleman who deserves a great bronze medal. This perfectly prepared car. Listen, I've got to ask you, Brian. This car has a lot of miles on it. You see these people in front of you, and certainly a lot more updated equipment. Are you going to stick with the big orange number 8?
Absolutely. This thing's been really reliable for me, and got me a silver back in 03, and never qualified out of the top 6 or 7, so I'm real proud of this car and the team, and my wife, Gloria. I'm just thankful to have her. It's great to be here, man.
Well, congratulations on a great 3rd place. Big smile out of the orange number 8 driver. Of course, that's Brian Wallace. Okay, guys, that was a great show. EFR, you said they had to manage it. Hey, they told me they were managing it. That's just the way they do it.
Following post-race technical inspection, it was determined that Andy McDermott's Mustang was out of compliance, promoting Tom Slow to the 2009 American Sedan National Championship. It is Slow's first national title.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.